Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I wanted to show you a stitch, a very easy stitch for a headband, for an infinity scarf, for many things that you like to do. This I worked the base down. I started with the foundation single crochet. I will put on the screen or below, I will put the link for the foundation single crochet. But this one I chain, for this headband I chain 61 chains. We have to go with the odd number. Now depends how big or small is the head that you want to do this headband, or how much hair that person has. Take that in consideration just in case. You might chain for an adult between 61 chains and maybe at the most 67 chains. Yeah, but you cast the chain and then you put it around your head and make sure that it's not too loose, not too tight. Yeah, so this is the stitch. It's very nice and it's thick, the headband. So this is the other side of the, how you say, the stitch. So if you don't like this, then you're gonna work with this one. Yeah, very easy. Okay, now like I said, this stitch we have to chain odd numbers. So I have here 21 stitches, which I start to do this with how you say, with a single crochet foundation. So like I said, I will put a link and you will see how to do this. I'm not gonna show you just now. After you finish, for example, you finish doing you cast the chains, or you cast the foundation single crochet, you're gonna go to the line. You will see in the tutorial that I did for this foundation single crochet, you go to that line, you pick up a loop, leave the loop there, then you're gonna take this and you're gonna twist it a little bit, yeah, and you're gonna bring this into a circle, and you're gonna go to the end, right here at the end, in that space, yeah. And then you're gonna take the yarn and you're gonna pull up a loop. You're gonna take this loop and pull through the next one, and then yarn over and pull the yarn through the next two, and then we're gonna go to the first stitch here, the first stitch. Gonna go there and you're gonna do a slip stitch, so it's closed, the foundation. And again, after you do that, make sure that you check and the stitches are on top, yeah, around the stitches, and the foundation chain is not twisted. Now we're gonna chain one and we're gonna go to the next stitch. So at this moment you're gonna have even numbers of stitches, yeah. So you're gonna go to the first stitch and we're gonna do a puff. Now depends how thick is your yarn, you're gonna go maybe only twice. If it's not so thick, the yarn, then you're gonna go maybe 3 times. Depends how big you want the puff to be. So I went once, twice, and I'm gonna go 3 times. Yeah. So if you go 3 times, you're gonna have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all these loops, and we're gonna move to the next stitch, and into the next we're gonna do a slip stitch. Any of you know this stitch. So again, we're gonna move to the next stitch and we're gonna do a puff. We're gonna alternate. So I go once, twice, and the third time pull the yarn through all the loops, move to the next stitch, slip stitch, next stitch, puff. So this is the stitch, has only one row repeat. That's about it. It's very easy. So the next we're gonna do a slip stitch, and we're gonna alternate like this until we finish this row. Move to the next stitch, a puff, move to the next stitch, slip stitch, puff into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch. We're gonna alternate like this. I'm working now with a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, but your yarn is gonna recommend your crochet number. So this has only one row repeat. It's gonna go really fast. Next one is slip stitch, puff into the next stitch, and you can play with colors. You can do with variegated yarn, depends on your liking. So puff stitch and slip stitch into the next, and we are approaching the end. So into the next stitch we're gonna do a puff, into the next stitch we're gonna do, because you see here we have the last stitch, and this is the chain, the one chain that we did when we joined the foundation single crochet. Yeah, so the next stitch is gonna be slip stitch, and then into this space between the puff, it's that one chain and it's a space in there. Yeah, so in that space I'm gonna do a puff. I'm not gonna do a slip stitch and chain one and all that. I'm just gonna go straight to that space where is that one chain when we chain. So I'm gonna do a puff, and the slip stitch from this moment forward, the slip stitch should be on top of the puff done. Yeah, the next stitch is gonna be a slip stitch, and you have a space here. Yeah, right here, next stitch. In there I'm gonna do a puff. The slip stitch will be done always on top, through the stitch on top of the puff. If you're not gonna do that and you're gonna do the puffs, they're gonna be stuck together. Yeah, so this way we're gonna have the puffs going diagonal. Yeah, so we're gonna do into the next we're gonna do a puff, so the next stitch is gonna be a slip stitch on top of the puff stitch from the previous row. So the next you can do like this and it's gonna be okay. So the next you're gonna do a slip stitch. That's why I didn't do the slip stitch and chain one when we start the new row. So a puff stitch. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna do the how you say, the slip stitch on through the stitch on top of the puff, and the puff you're gonna do into the slip stitch from the previous row. and this way the puffs will be not stuck together, like on top of each other, unless you like it. So if you like the puffs to be on top of each other, that's okay. So the next one, it's puff. The next one is slip stitch. I just wanted to show you when we start the next row how easy it's going to be. So we have the tail here, so here we started, we joined. Yeah. So the next one is going to be a puff. Next stitch. The next, it's a slip stitch. So this is the end. You always should finish with the slip stitch. And now there is no slip stitch and chain one. It's like joining the rows. Yeah. So directly I'm gonna go to the space, the slip stitch from the previous row, and I'm gonna do a puff. Yeah. Because here we joined. And that way you're not gonna have you're not going to see where you put together the rows. Yeah, you join them together. So the next is puff stitch. Next one is slip stitch. Hey, come here. So the next, so from this moment forward, now it's very easy. You have a lot of space to see where you should put the puff when you have to do the puff. And the next one is slip stitch. So you see, you don't see anything in here. It just goes straight. Yeah. So you keep repeating. It's just one row repeat, and you go on and on and on. So if you, let me see to show you how it looks here, where so here we joined. I want to take this and show you how it is. Yeah, how it looks. It's not too high, not too low when you join the foundation single crochet. So I think for colors you can join different colors, one row with one color, other row with a different color, and so on. You can do like this. This I just didn't have patience. I said, well, I'm not gonna cut the yarn and then attach. No, I'm just gonna, because this is not seen, so no problem for me. But if you like, you can do one row of puffs, one color, next row with different color or whatever. So when you just keep the yarn attached to the work, and then you're gonna have when you change the colors. Yeah. If not, then you cut the yarn, hide the tail, and attach again the yarn, and so on, if you don't want this kind of thing. Yeah, it's very, very easy. But I think this is really nice for a, well, not so cold day to have this as a headband. Even a hat, you can do this for a hat. This stitch is quite dense. Yeah. Well, give it a try. You might like to work with this this stitch. So this is what we worked up until now with this pink. Yeah, it's really, really easy, this stitch, and it goes really fast, but it's gonna eat some yarn. Yeah, just keep in mind. For a handband, doesn't take so much yarn, but for a infinity scarf, for a hat, well, might take some yarn. Depends how thick is the yarn. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day.